G'day. If you see someone about my age, ask them this question. Have they got a story about Cracker Night? In Australia, in New South Wales, where I grew up, Cracker Night was celebrated on the Queen's birthday long weekend. It involves skyrockets, tom thumbs, throwdowns, Catherine wheels and tuppenny bungers. It was banned some years ago now. The mix of gunpowder, fire and excited kids often resulted in terrified animals, blown up letterboxes and a whole lot of accidents and injuries. I bet that you can guess that I have a story about Cracker Night. Hi, I'm Mike Sears, and this is my story, number 10. On Cracker Night, we would always build a Guy Fawkes in the backyard. A big bonfire around him to burn on the night. This is a picture of Bobo and I standing next to one we named after our principal, Mr. Kearns. Lots of people gave our family, Ruhamah, the boys' home, lots of firecrackers so we could celebrate too. In fact, each year we were the envy of all the kids at school because we would be given boxes of firecrackers. Well, did we do silly things? Well, there was the time that my brothers and I found a well in the side garden on the side of the house. It was covered with a slab of concrete. We pulled back the concrete, and in the well there were a few pipes and a whole bunch of snails. We decided we'd throw in a whole bunch of crackers. We lit the crackers, we threw them in, we put the slab of concrete back. Bang, 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 bang went the crackers. We pulled the slab of concrete back and a billow of smoke came up. We looked in the hole and there was complete devastation. Lots of bits of snail and shell. But at that time, my father came running around and he said, "Guys, don't do that. That's the gas main for the whole neighbourhood. If there's just a leak, you could have blown us all up." On Firecracker Night, we'd get all the boxes of firecrackers that we'd been given and we'd put them on the table in the kitchen. We'd go outside and help Dad prepare an area of sand where we'd light all the firecrackers. As you can imagine, each one of us 12 boys was keen to light some firecrackers on Firecracker Night. Now with stacks of firecrackers and 12 boys desperate to light them, you can go through a lot of matches. So my father came up with an ingenious idea. Somewhere out of the wind, he'd light a candle, and then he'd give each of us boys a piece of string. So when it was your turn to light a firecracker, you'd go to the candle and you'd light the bit of string. There you go. And then you'd go to the firecracker and light the firecracker. Even if the wind blew it out, it would still smoulder enough to light a firecracker. Smouldering is a good word, isn't it? Sometimes we say our anger is smouldering. It isn't obvious, it's deep down, but we're still hanging on to it. We were halfway through our firecrackers when Dad sent Huey into the kitchen to get another box of firecrackers. Huey went in with his smouldering piece of string. He went to pick up a box of firecrackers but thought he'd just leave his string on one of the boxes. But it fell in. Suddenly, in the backyard, we heard a number of explosions come from the kitchen. Then we saw Huey running out of the kitchen door, chased by a skyrocket. Shoom! Firecracker night finished early that year. Dad said, "Kids, be careful where you put your smouldering string. Don't hold on to them. Get rid of them before you go inside." God says the same thing about smouldering anger. In the Bible, he says, "In your anger, do not sin. Do not let the sun go down while you are still angry. And do not give the devil a foothold." In other words, he says, get rid of your anger, get rid of your smouldering anger before the end of the day. Have you got a problem with smouldering anger? Then give it to God and help Him help you extinguish it. Don't hold on to it. Be careful with it. It can be dangerous. And if you don't, well, you can go to blazes.